I'm Lee, and this week I think I'm going to try to make a bell. Okay, I'm starting with a piece of 1-inch tubing, and it's 16 gauge, and I'm just going to put a couple inches through there because I want this thing relatively small. Going to be a lot of scale on that, but I'm just going to work my way, just keep narrowing that up real slowly so I don't collapse it, and then just get it down to where it's small enough to start the bell. Okay, so I have my piece of steel neck down. Now I will say that in here I was too heavy-handed to begin with, and I was squaring that bar off. The best way to do that is just take your time. It probably took me, I don't know, maybe 6 heats or so to get that small. So just take your time. It's the first time I've done one, so I'm just kind of seeing what happens. But yeah, collapsing a bar like that or tubing is a little bit difficult. Next, I want to start opening this up a little bit. So I have this forged for the most part. I have a little flare down here on the bottom. I cut the top. Now I consider this dead steel. This is the term I use. See, it's not very ringy. Doesn't sound like much, but we're going to change that because I'm going to use this. I'm going to planish everything on it. And so what it does, I think anyways, is it kind of work hardens everything. It makes all the molecules a little bit tighter, so it's kind of like hardening slightly. And it's going to give it a little bit better ring. Now I want to make the hammer for this bell, so I'm going to upset some of this material. Now I got to make the very top of the hook. Okay, that's about where it wants to go. I'm going to give myself a mark here. I think I'm going to file behind this and then fold this top corner of the bell over to catch that once I have this mounted. So my hammer has to get mounted to this first. So I need to go roughly, well, I should probably use a tape measure, but I'm going to measure out right here to see where this hammer needs to go. And then I will go ahead and cut this steel and start getting these ready to put together. So I have this ground out and I have this hole drilled in each of these. So the hammer and then this will be the top. Now I have to fasten these together. So I found an old junk piece of fencing that was cut up, just the edge. And I'm just going to cut a little piece of this out and I'm going to use it to secure that. Now this is going to be pretty tricky because I've never thought to ever try to do this. But I'm going to try it, see what happens. It might work beautifully, or it might just be terrible. But I need that hammer to swing. See, that's a little sticky right there. So I need to go a little bit wider. That is not looking too bad. I may just take a hammer and smack right there to get that little piece down, but so far that thing is going to swing, which is what I want. Next in this procedure, I need to get this through here, pull it all the way to that detent that I made, right there. So I'm inside of this. Now I need to peen this over a little bit to pinch that down against that shaft, and then I can turn this into a little loop. Okay, so just like most of my projects, I get a crazy idea in my head and I just go with it. So this one actually worked really well. Now I don't know that I would do this where I filed that detent and did this right here to attach it. It's clean, I like how it looks, but it's really difficult to do. It's got a nice jingle to it. This kind of moves a little bit, so it almost helps it jingle a little bit better. I could probably tighten this up more. I was using a slot punch and just kind of hitting this very edge right here to knock that in. And it worked pretty good to tighten that up. It can't go nowhere. This will never fall apart. This was really difficult to do here. I don't know of a better way to do it. I think that if you had a whole different mounting apparatus, you could forge this cleaner to where it's not such a nightmare. Trying to fold that with the scroll tongs and trying to keep this from getting too hot. But I liked how it attached everything in here. That's why I wanted to do it. It kept that all clean like a real bell. It's just really hard to do like that. I would have to look into it more to see how everyone else forges them. But I had a lot of fun with this. This is a pretty neat project. I learned something new with forging a pipe down. And overall, I really like it. I think I'm going to use it for a Christmas ornament. Well, let me know what you think in the comments. I appreciate you watching. I hope you have a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. I'll see you next week.